Welcome the attraction. Satin doors wrapped all around. She laid me up, then she knocked me down. I fell in love, she showed me how. She takes a puff and it's curtains round. She drives the camera crazy, I think she knows it. There ain't no one above her and she ain't afraid to own it. The glitz and glamour slay me, but is it hopeless? This goddess of a woman really gets the people going. Close up, zoom out, from every angle, yeah, she lay me down. Choked up, no doubt, she had the handle, but she'll keep it round. 3, 2, 1. My life, when they call for action, shines like she'll evoke reaction. I feel it drum, heart starts to pound. She pulled the plug, really slowed me down. We fell in love, she showed me how. Hands are cuffed as I slow me down. She drives the camera crazy, I think she knows it. There ain't no one above her and she ain't afraid to own it. The glitz and glamour slay me, but is it hopeless? This goddess of a woman really gets the people going. Close up, zoom out, from every angle, yeah, she lay me down. Choked up, no doubt, she had the handle, but she'll keep it round. 3, 2, 1. I've been broke, been bruised, been used. Had folks talking like they know my shoes. Ain't no saint I raised some hell, but I learned my peace where my demons dwell. I quit chasing ghosts that don't pay rent. Quit worrying about the ones who win. Now I walk my road dust on my boots, saying my truth, whatever it roots. Cause I don't give a damn who don't like me. This world spins fast and time ain't free. We're all just sparks in the midnight sky, fading out slow, saying goodbye. So pour that whiskey, let it burn fine. Laugh at the scars that prove I'm alive.
To the ancestors, known and unknown, Ashe. To the gods, known and unknown, Ashe. All the praise, all the glory be to the Most High. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite Cosmic Warrior, back at you with another Galactic Transmission. So today we're going to start off where we left off at Pistis Sophia. This is book 1, and we left off at chapter 16. So we're going to pick up there. Yeshua continued speaking to his disciples. When I was clothed once more in the robes of light, I stood fully in the power of the first mystery. And when I looked out over the realms I had passed through, the aeons, the powers, the rulers, they all saw my light. And seeing it, they trembled. They were shaken because they had never witnessed such brightness. My return to the heights, now wrapped in full glory, sent waves through all the realms below. The rulers, the archons, and even the firmaments of the aeons were disturbed. Some fell into confusion. Others tried to understand what was happening. The light I carried radiated outward, and all things responded. Some in fear, some in awe, some in silence. And then the time came for me to return, not just in presence, but in truth. I descended again, this time to share what I had received, to reveal what had been hidden, and to awaken what had been forgotten. He paused, then said, What I now give to you, no one has spoken before. These are the mysteries of light, the knowledge of the beginning and the end. And it is yours to receive, not as servants, but as those who are ready. Yeshua said to his disciples, "Now listen closely, and I will tell you about the great light and its mysteries, those that no being in the lower aeons have ever known. I will speak of the paths I followed, the powers I passed through, and the way I returned to my place in the heights." He continued, "When I entered the realm of the first mystery, I was received by the great beings of light who serve the ineffable. They saw the glory that surrounded me, and they recognized the power I carried. Then, by the command of the first mystery, I was given authority to open all the gates between the worlds, to reveal the paths hidden since the beginning. And so, from that place, I looked down upon the aeons, and I saw the suffering and confusion that filled the world below. I saw souls trapped in forgetfulness, wandering without direction, and my heart was moved. That is why I have returned, not just to tell you what I have seen, but to show you how to find your way back. The mysteries I give you are not meant to impress or confuse. They are here to awaken you, to restore what was lost." Yeshua continued, chapter 18. Yeshua continued, "The time has come for me to speak to you openly about the mysteries, the true paths of ascent, hidden since the beginning of time. These mysteries were once sealed, guarded even from the rulers of the aeons, but now they are ready to be given to you." He looked at his disciples and said, "Not long from now, I will reveal the mystery of the one who lives in the treasury of light. I will show you how the soul can rise from above the world and be set free. But first, you must understand the structure of the realms, what each one holds, and how each one is ruled, and how the soul must pass through them. No one can reach the fullness unless they are guided by the mysteries. No one can enter the light by accident. It is only through knowledge and preparation that the way becomes clear." Yeshua paused, then added, "These things were not spoken before, not in public, not even in secret. But now I give them to you, so that you may know the truth and walk the path yourself." Chapter 19. Yeshua continued speaking to his disciples. "Now I will tell you the things that lie beyond the aeons, truths that have never been revealed before." The mysteries I bring to you were hidden, kept in silence since the beginning, known only to those in the innermost light. He looked at them and said, "When I stood in the presence of the first mystery, I received the command to return and share what I had seen. I was given the authority to reveal the way back, the path of the soul, the steps of redemption, the return to the light. These mysteries cannot be understood through reasoning alone. They must be lived. They must be experienced. I give them to you not as secrets to be kept, but as keys to be used." He paused, then added, "Let those who are ready to receive what I will now begin to share. Let your hearts be open, for what is coming is not just knowledge, it is transformation." Chapter 20. Yeshua looked at his disciples and said, "From this moment on, I will speak with you not only as your teacher, but as one who has passed through all the realms, who has seen the fullness and returned. The words I now give you are from the light itself." He continued, "There are 3 robes of light in the higher worlds. Each one contains a mystery, a seal, and a name that holds power. When I entered the highest place, these garments were restored to me. I put them on again, not just as clothing, but as expressions of the divine knowledge, power, and authority I now carry. These robes are not made of matter. They are woven from light, from pure intention, from the word of the first mystery. Each robe has a name that cannot be spoken by those of the lower worlds. It is known only in the places of truth." Yeshua paused, then said, "These mysteries are not separate from you. They are meant for you. And I will begin now to reveal them, so that you may be clothed in light and stand where I have stood. Chapter 21. After hearing Yeshua speak of the mysteries, Mary stepped forward and asked, Master, what about the astrologers and the interpreters of signs, those who read the movements of the heavens and predict what is to come? Will their knowledge still be accurate now that you've changed the order of things? Yeshua answered her gently, Before now, the heavenly bodies, the spheres, the constellations, the patterns of the signs, always turned in a single direction. They followed fixed paths. Because of that, those who studied them could make predictions. Their words were often true because the systems were stable and predictable. But now, things have changed. I have shifted the balance. The heavenly wheels no longer turn in one direction. They alternate. Every 6 months they reverse. First they move to the left, then to the right. And this change has thrown all their knowledge into confusion. Those who relied on the old ways can no longer see clearly. Their charts no longer align. Their interpretations fail. Unless they understand what has changed and why, their predictions will not come true. He paused, then said, What was once ruled by rigid order is now open to the mystery. I have done this so that the powers of fate and the illusions of control will be broken, so that freedom might rise. Chapter 22. After Yeshua had spoken, Mary bowed and said, Master, we know that you have come from the realms of the light, and that you speak the truth. Bless us with deeper understanding, so that we may share in the mysteries you have revealed. Then Yeshua said to her and to the others, Blessed are you who search for the light. Blessed are you who are ready to receive. For the truth I now give you is not just for knowledge, it is for transformation. The mysteries I speak of come from the first mystery, the source of all. They are not the teachings of men, nor the writings of scribes. They are alive. They are power. They are the keys that open what has been closed since the beginning. When you receive these mysteries, you do not simply learn, you change. You rise. You remember what was forgotten, and you return to the light that is your home. He paused, then added, There are many who will hear these words and walk away. But you who stay, you will be filled with light. And the light will carry you beyond every aeon, every ruler, every veil of forgetfulness. Chapter 23. Yeshua looked upon his disciples and said, Now I will begin to reveal to you the great mysteries of the light, truths that have never been spoken in the world until now. These are not the teachings of this earth. They come from the heights, from the place of the first mystery, where all things begin and end. You have followed me. You have listened and believed. That is why you are ready to receive what others cannot. What I now give you will guide your souls when you leave this body. These mysteries are the maps, the paths, the power to pass through the realms that seek to bind and confuse. He continued, When the time comes for your soul to rise, you will not be stopped. The rulers of the aeons will not recognize you as theirs. They will see the light in you and know that you are not bound to them. You will speak the names, the seals, the mysteries I now give you, and the gates will open before you. Then he added, These are not words for the mind. They are for the heart that remembers. Keep them, honor them, and when the moment comes, let them lead you home. Chapter 24. Yeshua continued speaking to his disciples. The mysteries I am about to reveal will not only guide your souls after death, they will also give you power here, in this life. Whoever receives them with sincerity will be transformed, not just in spirit, but in the very way they live and move in the world. He looked around at them and said, These mysteries are not symbols or teachings meant to be memorized. They are living forces. When you receive them and speak them with truth, they will move through the spiritual realms. They will open doors. They will silence the rulers. They will free the soul from the grip of forgetfulness and fear. Then he added, There will be many who hear the words and dismiss them. Some will mock, some will doubt. But those who hold them with reverence will understand and understanding, those who live what they receive, will walk the path of light, even while still in the body. Yeshua paused and with gentle authority said, "Let your hearts be open, let your minds be still. For what I will now reveal is not to be taken lightly. These are the mysteries that lift the soul, that guide it beyond the veil, and that return it to its true home." Chapter 25. Yeshua said to his disciples, "I will now reveal the first mystery, the one that opens the path for the soul after it leaves the body. This mystery is like a key. It unlocks the first gate and allows the soul to pass safely through the outer realms." He continued, "When a soul prepares to leave the body, it finds itself surrounded by powers that seek to hold it back, powers of confusion, judgment, and fear. But if that soul carries the mystery I now give you, those powers cannot touch it. They fall away, and the gate before it opens. This mystery is not just protection, it is recognition. When the soul speaks it, the guardians of the realms know that it belongs to the light. They do not resist it. They bow before it." Yeshua paused, then added, "There is great power in this mystery. Use it with care. Speak it only with purity. And when the time comes, it will go before you like the light in darkness and lead you forward without fear." Chapter 26. Yeshua continued, "Now listen, and I will give you the words of the first mystery. When the soul leaves the body and reaches the gate of the first aeon, it must speak these words to the powers that guard the way. Say this: I am a child of the light. I come from the place of the first mystery. I carry the seal of the one who is beyond all. Let the path open before me, for I return to the source from which I came." Yeshua looked at his disciples and said, "When the soul speaks these words with truth and understanding, the powers guarding the gate cannot refuse it. They see the seal, they hear the voice, and they open the way." He paused and added, "This is the mystery of the first gate. It is simple, but powerful. Do not forget it, for when the time comes, it will be your light and the darkness and your passage through the threshold." Chapter 27. Yeshua looked at his disciples and said, "When the soul has spoken the words of the first mystery and passed through the first gate, it will rise into the presence of the second power, and again the path must be opened." He continued, "Just as before, the soul must speak with clarity and truth. It must say, 'I am of the light, and I come with the seal of the living God. I seek no part in the world of matter. I return to the source of all life, to the one who called me into being." Yeshua paused, then said, "This second gate is guarded by stronger forces, those who try to judge and bind. But when they hear the words of the mystery, they will fall silent. They cannot accuse the one who carries the truth within." And he added, "This is how the soul continues its ascent, step by step, word by word, light by light, until it returns to the fullness it once knew, and is forgotten no longer." Chapter 28. Yeshua continued, "When the soul passes through the second gate, it enters a higher region where the third powers await. The power stands watch, examining every soul that approaches, testing whether it carries truth or deception." He looked at his disciples and said, "The soul must speak again. It must declare, 'I am of the light. I come from the one who is eternal. I have walked the path, and I carry the seal of the mysteries. Let no shadow bind me, for I belong to the realm of truth." Yeshua added, "When the soul speaks these words with knowledge, not just from memory, but from within, then the third power will recognize the voice. It will see that the soul is not a stranger, but one returning home, and it will open the gate." He paused and said, "Each mystery is a step upward. Each word is a key, and the soul that carries them walks not in fear, but in freedom." Chapter 29. Yeshua said to his disciples, "After the soul has passed through the third gate, it will rise again and come before the fourth power. This one is subtle and cunning. It tests not only what the soul says, but what the soul is." He continued, "At this gate, The soul must speak clearly and without fear. I come from the treasury of light. I bear the mystery of ineffable. I have not forgotten my origin. I seek not the things of the world, but the place of my true belonging. Yeshua looked at them and added, if the soul speaks without doubt, if the light within is steady and strong, then the fourth power will fall back. The gate will open, and the soul will rise again, lighter, freer, closer to its source. He paused and said, this is how the journey continues, not by force, not by status, but by remembrance. The soul that remembers where it came from will never be turned away. I'm going to stop this one right there. And that's a good point. You know, the soul that remembers where it came from will never be turned away. You know, one thing that really helped me, you know, putting pieces together. So it's like I did what I did, and then I'm trying to piece it all back together. But it's remembering. But then it's also, you know, when I read this, you know, what am I reminded of? Well, I'm reminded of, you know, the only choices that I had. You know, after I made, you know, my conscious ascension, right? But it was through the choices that I made, through the mystery classes that I passed, you know, not even knowing that I was enrolled in. I never signed up for it, but, you know, it's life signs you up. You know, life is the test, and it's, you know, how do you respond to it? How do you react? How do you choose to? What choices do you make? You know, what are our thought processes? How do we perceive things? You know, it's learning to observe everything, but let everything pass through you at the same time, you know, kind of without judgment until you're able to form a judgment. Because all the tools that we've used for like, think of it as the scales of judgment. Well, by what standards are we judging things? By man's standards. You know, we're taught to judge things by man's standards. You know what I mean? And like some of the things, yeah, we know, like don't kill people. Like, that goes without saying. But it's other things that it's, you know, the way that we perceive it as wrong, but it's not. It's not in a universal sense, in a spiritual sense. There's no violation, so there is no wrong. You know, it's just, well, funny. You know, what I'm being brought to is, you know, there is no crime without a victim. Victimless crimes. You know, how many people are arrested every day for victimless crimes? There's no such thing. You know, for the state cannot be a victim. The state cannot be a victim. But the state declares itself as a victim all the time. Okay, well, call your witness. Call the witness. Oh, the state cannot be a witness because the state is not a person. You know, so there has to be a victim for there to be a crime. It's just another way for them to it's piracy, it's theft. It's for them to, well, it's harvesting our energy through being forced to go into and converging with the court systems. It's harvesting our money. It's keeping us financially bound, financially strained. You know, it's so many things, but victimless crimes. You know, being judged by man. You know, being judged by man by their false rules, by their false judgments. It's a hindrance, you know, it's, you know, but it's, you know, we do the right thing because we know it to be the right thing. You know, if everyone's sitting there beating someone, are you going to continue to beat them? And so, well, what thoughts go through my mind? I don't know, is it a pedo? Is it, you know what I mean? It's, so maybe I won't jump in, but maybe I'm interesting. I don't always jump in to throw punches. Sometimes I jump in to break it up. Sometimes I stand by because sometimes justice has to be served, you know, and maybe I might fall for that, maybe I'm not. But you know, when I see it, when I know, because I pay attention, I observe, you know, and if I'm going to sit by and allow it to happen, but if I don't have enough knowledge to know that it's deserved, I'm gonna separate it. But if I'm well aware of all the facts, you know, but why do I feel that way? Well, you know how many times I've seen people get thrown away and locked up longer in jail for driving offenses, for getting caught with weed, for non-violent offenses, and then someone that goes and grapes someone, gets a slap on the wrist and walks right out? I got a big fucking problem with that. I've always had a huge fucking problem with that.
You know, victimless crimes. We charge them, throw the book at them. When we have real victims, what do? Oh, you brought it upon yourself. Oh, you asked for it. It's a fucked up system. It's a corrupt system. You know, but it's, I do something right. I stay in universal alignment, spiritual alignment. So it's, I go by my internal compass. But even when I make the wrong choice, at least I know I'm making the wrong choice. But guess what? Sometimes I want to see justice with my own hands. Well, not so much now, but I used to. I used to want to take it into my own hands. But remembering, going home, you know, but it's, you know, it almost not makes you not want to speak about, you know, the spiritual ascension and the woo-woo stuff, right? It's, well, you want to share it because you know it to be true. You want to share it to other people to help them through stuff that you struggle through, to let them know you're not going crazy. You know, you want to share it with them, but then the backlash you get for doing it. You know, the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and not everyone has them, but it's choices. You know, people will be slapped with the fucking truth and still choose not to believe it. What was that? Ow, the wind is really strong today. It's like, you know, but it's the choices that we make. You know, it's why do I continue to get on here and give you know, do this for free? It's because I know I'm helping those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. That's why I do it. You know, I know it falls on a lot of deaf ears, but you know, I also hold the belief that I set my intention, you know, let it get to anyone and everyone that it needs to. And so what I also know that to believe is that just because it doesn't mean anything to you now, the messages that we receive, it doesn't mean at the right time it's not going to make sense to you. You know, it doesn't matter if you even come into 5 minutes of my video. That 5 minutes you hear it and they're like, what the fuck is this nonsense? Then leave. Well, who knows? It may be a year, a week, 2 weeks, 2 years, who knows how long. Then maybe something else will happen and you'll be reminded of something I said and then the light will go on. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason and nothing is pointless. If you're feeling led to do something or say something, it's for a reason. And it's not our job, it's not our position to know. We want to know, but we don't need to know. All we need to know is that we're doing the right thing. All we need to know is that we're doing what's asked of us. All we need to know is, well, it's not questioning. It's not questioning what you know to be true. It's you know, when you question your intuition is normally when you make mistakes. You know, when you get those intuitive hits, trust them. You know, your first initial thought about something, it's for a reason. You know, it's when we start second guessing ourselves is when we normally make the mistakes. When we go against our gut, when we go against our instincts, our intuition, confirmation, when we go against that, that's normally when we make the mistakes. Second guessing. You know, but everyone's going to make you want to second guess what you do know, make you think that you're crazy. It's like, the sad part is I know that you're crazy for thinking that I'm crazy. Because I know the truth. I stand in the truth. And you're standing on towers of lies. You just don't realize it. Because you're sitting up there in your ivory tower built of lies, though. It's going to suck when it comes crumbling down. I'm trying to help you dismantle it. I'm trying to help you to break it down so the fall's not going to be so hard. It's not going to break you. It's not going to destroy you. I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to help you to dismantle it slowly. Because when it gets swooped out from under you, that fall hurts. That's a long fucking fall. That's a long way down. It's a long way down. But free choices, free will. And you can ignore the truth, ignore the truth, ignore the truth, ignore the truth. Well, guess what? The truth is going to come around and it's going to knock that tower right out. You know, but that's why we question things. That's why we question the labels that we throw into things. That's why we question the labels other people, you know, force us to put onto things, or just because we saw other people, you know, putting labels on things, then, oh, well, sure, I'll just slap the same label on there. Question everything. Question everyone. Question me. Do your own research. Question every word that I say. I wish you would. because you might find some truth. I really wish you would. I really wish you would try to prove me wrong. With open-mindedness. You go into it closed-minded. Well, even if you go into it closed-minded, you know, the Most High has a way of opening up your heart. And open up your heart and open up your eyes. But yeah. Let's do a read. Let's get some. You know what I'm gonna do today? You guys want to hear? I got a playlist with just new music that I've been finding. I don't know. I've been adding music into there for a while, but let's go off of that playlist today. I guess we'll just go in order from the newest. Where is it? There we go. Oh.
Cast skyward, weightless when the chains break. Archetypal figures that shape shift, the change face. Storm the gates, hit the safe, get the cake. While dog eats dog off a diner family dinner plate. I'm in the clouds, in the crowd, in the vision-scape. In effect, any minute now, but me get it straight. I've seen her face in my dreams since I was young. A Beatrice, a queen, a mother that chides her son. That stumbled through his life when he couldn't find a hobby. And lived on the cliff's edge like the Anasazi. Saw my love walking down the street like a vision. A symbol of a hidden world, show me what I'm missing.
She smiled at him but said nothing.
Then disappeared around the corner while I put the poison in my bloodstream. A child born into briars and thorns that tried to silence sirens and horns. In the eye of the storm, the fire rages. The state calls her young to war. Some will turn the hatred into something more and place guns on the floor. Breathe deep, darkness retreats. See my heart periodically is part of her mystique. Hold the keys to the city where the shepherds lead the sheep. And never ever ever get the mark of the beast. I climbed the ladder, then I fell again. I had the whole wardrobe full of skeletons and old habits that arrested my development. In the woods at the mercy of the elements, waiting for my love. You seen it? I'm waiting for my love. They tell me I'm a dreamer.
Waiting.
Running warn the village not to place trust in machines built to subjugate the universe and us. The jungle's not safe after dusk. I saw hyenas tear man to pieces and turned away in disgust. But some nights mother made me kill for my next meal. My dreams seemed more alive, the world felt less real. And in the full moonlight, she looked beautiful. A fresh blanket of snow, a garland of human skulls. Her valleys and streams are my flesh, my veins. Like birds in flight, the neurons vibrant in my right brain. And words are weapons to sharks, shoot shots off in the dark of night and hit the mark with precise aim. Lone pistol arrow, too legit to cease. Gain the kingdoms of the world, lose your inner peace. Got no social skill, but I can do this in my sleep. Shackles stole the ocean to reveal the universe beneath. I climbed the ladder, then I fell again. I had the whole world.
This is Deca. DECA. The song is Waiting.
At the mercy of the elements, waiting for my love.
Also, guys.
Seen it?
Also, if you ever want to know what any of the songs are, there's an app you can get for free. It's called what is it? Shaz? What the fuck is it? Brain fart. I want to say Shazam. Is it on? I don't even know if it's on this phone. What phone did I install it on? I don't know, I can't find it. I almost forget how to even operate a fucking Android. I
I regret making the switch to the dark side, fucking Apple. But yeah, Shazam. But you can play that. You can open up that app when any music is playing. Could even just be a small little clip of the music. And if you play Shazam, open up the app and have that playing, it'll pick it up and it'll normally give you what it is. It's really good with that, even with some of the newer stuff, and it's free.
Waiting for my love. They tell me I'm a dreamer.
Waiting for the
You know what's funny? You know, so I was just looking at your comment, the Me Too, but it's like I never thought I would switch over to Apple. Never. I would die hard Google, right? But I was also die hard Xbox. You know, I'll never make that switch over to PlayStation. No, that's never gonna happen. That will never gonna happen. I'm not gonna do that. But you know, but I'm, you know, you're either one or the other. You're either Xbox, you're PlayStation, you're Apple, you're Android. You're very firm either one or the other. But it's I never gave, you know, iPhones a chance, and now I've given it a chance for like 2 years. You know, it's interesting when I decided to make the change. I was already switching everything up in my life, but when I got that phone, I did a full reset of everything in my life, new mastery, everything, which was bittersweet too, because, you know, like Xbox, you know, I had an account I've been using for like 20 fucking years. I had a whole lot of accolades, a whole lot of time and effort, and, you know, it's just pride, you know. So I watch videos of, like, you know, these men coming home and their women, you know, erasing their whole careers, right? Well, I understand their pain, but it's like I chose to do it. You know, I wanted the full reset. I kind of miss it. I look back and it's like, damn, it would be nice to have a lot of the stuff that I'd earned. But it's you know, if I did it once, I could do it again. I know, but I will do it again. You know what I mean? But it's I don't know. I was just at the point in my life where I was, you know, just any and everything. I just wanted all new everything. I had a fresh new mindset, and I wanted all new everything. Master reset of everything. It's, you know, you know, it's interesting. It's like what I learned when selling drugs is, you know, well, not all money is good money, right? Just because you got money doesn't mean you're good to be working with, right? That's what kept me safe. But it's also, I kept switching my numbers up all the time. And if it was a good way to get rid of people that I had an off feeling about. But then it was also, you know, it was hard to keep in touch with me because it was back, you know, early 2000s, you know, right, you know, flip phones and cell phones were still early. But, you know, trying to get a hold of me was, you know, it was back when, you know, I would have in my wallet, you know, a sheet full of paper with phone numbers, and I can write really small too and still read it, and so I can fit so many numbers on just like even the tiniest little piece. But then it's like I had to write them down because the way we would switch up numbers so much, it's, you know. But it was that was interesting. It was you know, it was easy for me to cut ties with people that way, a lot of times intentionally, but it's like, new number, who dis? But the switches, yeah. You just get some, I mean, especially, you know, when you go through, you know, your awakening, you know, chances are, you know, you already cut out a lot of stuff in your life, and so you're switching things up. And I guess I made the switch to Apple because it was like, I don't know, it was a new me, so it was like, you know what, let me try something new. Let me go to the dark side. I regret it, but hey, I did it. I went to Apple, and yeah, not a fan. It's not, I don't know. But it was also, you know, it was kind of, I was also leaned to it because of just being able to connect all multiple different devices all through it for work is what I was kind of getting towards too. But that definitely played heavy onto my decision to switch over. But I don't know. I feel like I've given it enough time to fully assess the situation, and yeah, I kind of regret my decision to switch. But it is what it is. I'm not stuck with it forever.
I see you shiver, Taste the heat of your skin, fingers gripping, pulling you close, pulling me in. Tongue slides, teeth graze, fire ignites. Every gasp, every moan, every edge of night. I claim you, press you, make you mine. Every shiver, every tremble, every line. Trembling, quivering, begging for more. I'm raw, I'm primal, to the core. I'll take you, break you, drag you to the edge. Every touch, every bite, every whispered pledge. All of me collide, entwine. I'm yours, you're mine. Fire in your spine. Push me, pull me, shiver, scream. I own you tonight. I own every dream. Hands in your hair, teeth sinking skin. Every gasp, every tremble pulls me in. Muscles tense, your body rides in my hand. Every push, every lick, every command. Whisper my name, quiver under my grip. Every inch, every pull, every breath.
You know what's interesting? You know, with this song playing and the mechanic card came out. You know, it's the awareness of the energetic contracts that we sign, right? It's even just, you know, text messages, responding to people. It's simple things as that. But then you throw in, you know, like actually having bonds with people like that, and it's intertwining of our souls, and there's so much that, oh, it's just innocent, oh, it was just one night. But then it's like, you know, the trauma and the bond that we could carry on from the unhealed people that we sleep with. You know, we could be doing really good ourselves. You know what's interesting is, you know, I don't even know if I should. I probably shouldn't share that. You know, but it's also, but on the other end of the spectrum, you know, sex with the right person can be really healing. You know, it can actually heal you. You know, but that's when, you know, two healed people come together. But it's proper union. It's not just lust, you know what I mean? It's being with someone not because of their status, not because of their money, not because of what they do for you. It's being with someone because you both want to be with someone, you know, because you're both aligned, not just because, you know, one is faking the alignment, you know, which happens a lot. You know, what happens after that? Then we're hurt, then we need to fix ourselves, you know, but it's, you know, but it's interesting too. The right person is going to nourish the broken parts of you. No, we're all, even as fixed as some of us are, we're still broken. You know, it seems like, even as healed as some of us are, we're still broken. You know, but it's never done. You know, we're never done healing. We're never done on the spiritual journey. It never ends. You know, even after this incarnation, it doesn't end. But it's the work that we do. And that's interesting too, though. It's the work that we do today for a better tomorrow. You know, but that's another point too. It's, you know, but it's the healing. But then it's also, but it's, you look at society today, and we have all these, we just have societies of unhealed people. You know, unhealed trauma. You know, passed down generation to generation to generation to generation. When was the last time we had societies full of healed people? You know what I mean? When was the last time we had societies of that with full families? It seems like a mythical thing of the past these days. You know, but it's, you know, we talk about good parenting, right? And I like to make the comparison to child neglect is, you know, by not doing the work on yourself. You know, it's not necessarily just your child. You could provide your child with everything they need, you know, in this 3D world, but are you setting them up for success in the spiritual realms? You know, are you setting up for success
like later on in the future. But it's more than just the physical. You know, a lot of times that's what we fixate on. We just fixate on the physical. We think that we're a good parent because but part of it too is I hold remorse for the time of my life that I gave away to companies when I should have been in my son's life. For missing out on those times. I also held judgment against myself for, the first 2 years of my son's life. I didn't really accept him as mine. I hooked up with a chick right out of jail. It's like, and then it was one and done, and then, bitch, you're gonna tell me you're pregnant and it's mine? Fuck out of here, it ain't my kid. I was in denial for a long time. But I've said it many times. If I could go back and change anything and everything, I would change everything but that. He was the best mistake I've ever made. I say that, but it's like, I feel wrong to say that, but it's the truth though. That's how I feel. It wasn't intentional, but it's the best mistake I ever could have made. It was a blessing in disguise to me. But it's interesting. It's the things that I've learned from my son that, it's the things that we can learn from our kids. It's the things that we learn from them about our connection with our parents. It's the things that we see how they treat us, how we can look back and, look back at our past and analyze it from that set of lens, how our parents might have felt during, when we were doing the same things to them or maybe different. It's interesting how times change and, your perspective changes and you grow up and, your mindset changes. But why does your mindset change? It changes, over time. But what happens over time? Hopefully we've taken the time to fix things, but how are we fixing them? That's interesting too. Are we just throwing duct tape on it and calling it good? That'll work to get you to the next stop, but at some point, parts have to be replaced. They can only be bandaged up so many times. But sometimes we have to work up the strength to fix ourselves. It's just like we have to work up to save the money so that we can repair our vehicle. But it's planning. It's intention. It's setting our intention. It's that we want to. Intentions are everything. Intentions are absolutely everything.
Your friends turn ghosts, your family cries, but you can't hide the truth in your bloodshot eyes. Every lapse feels like chains on your soul, but breaking free is still a part of the goal. Step by step, breath by breath, you ain't gotta let this end in death. Life's gonna swing, try to break your grip. Storm's gonna come, waves gonna hit, but I swear on my life, don't quit like this. Hold your ground, remember this. I know the demons whisper late at night, telling you it's easier to give up the fight. But every breath you take is proof you're here. Every step forward is louder than fear. You're not alone, don't fade, don't quit. There's a voice inside still begging to live. Look in your soul when the shadows persist, and tell yourself again you got this. You're stronger than the pain, stronger than the loss. Even when the world says no, you'll still grow. Every scar's a story, every tear's a fist. Don't let go, just know you got this. Through the shakes, through the nights you miss, through the fights, through the emptiness. Stand tall, don't fall, hear me scream this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Yo, single parents. Mamas, papas, you got a responsibility. You got a youth to take care of. Let's get together. We won't waste no time. Get the troubles up today before now you stand in line. Won't waste no time. Get the devil a stranger, it's the ultimate danger. Won't waste no time. With the troubles up today before now you stand in line. Won't waste no time. Get the devil a stranger, it's the ultimate danger. There ain't no law here in the streets. Heart don't cry and heart don't steal. But life is like a turning wind. Those who can hear will feel. I see so many youths on the play. They don't even know how to pray. Mama say it's gonna be okay. Who's gonna show them the way?
People not knowing how to pray. Who's going to show them the way? Who's going to show them the way, you know, to fix themselves? Who's going to show them the way to find the help that's always available to them? Who's going to show them the way? But to pray, it's speaking into existence. It's a lot of us believe because we hear the words in the book, the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. We hear the words, you know, life is in the power of life and death is in the power of our tongue. But we hear those words, but do we believe them? We believe them, but do we know them to be true? Who's gonna? But it's speaking into existence. Who's gonna show? It's the impact of our words. It's the impact of. It's the realization that exactly where we're at right now is a result of every thought, every choice, every decision, every word that we've made. Every single one. It's a combination of it all. It's our energy. That's why we're at where we're at. That's a tough realization. Especially when we're in a lot of places we don't prefer. But the places that we don't prefer, there's always a way out though. But the way out is in. You know, but that's why God hears everything, but that's why we ask. We don't ask, we speak into existence. We give thanks because it's already happened, happening, it's coming, it's gonna happen. You know, we give thanks for removing anything in us that is not of the Most High and replacing it with that which is. That's something we should be doing constantly. It's because we don't know. We're not always aware of what needs to be removed. We're not always aware, but even when we're aware of what needs to be removed, a lot of times we're not aware. Well, how the fuck do I do that? How the fuck do I heal this? How the fuck? It's a whole lot of how the fucks. But guess what? It's a good thing. Lean not on my own understanding. Lean not on my own guidance. Lean not on my own strength. Because if we were just leaning on ourselves, we wouldn't make it very far. Facts. We wouldn't make it very far. You know, but the hidden helper is the mechanic. It's the help that we get on the way from strangers. You know, we run out of gas on the side of the road and someone just happened to have a gallon in the back of the truck. They stop, give it to us. Hey, we make it to the gas station. You know, it's, hey, tire blew. It was their spare tire. Someone just pulled over, gave us their spare. You know, it's the way that the Most High, as long as you're staying aligned, the Most High will make everything work out for you. It's not what's happening. When you sit there and go, woe is me, and you can do that, but it's not going to do shit. It's not going to get you anywhere. You know, the faster you can get over the woe is me and what's happening to me is not what's happening for me. When you look at it, what's happening for me? Well, hey, I just watched all these videos on how to replace a tire. Well, now I know how to do it. Now I get to apply it. Now I get to put all this knowledge that I've gained. I've taken my time to learn because I came across the video. It piqued my interest. I sat through the video. I learned something. And now I have the opportunity. I've been blessed with the opportunity to put it into effect, to show what I've learned. Or you're going to sit there and, oh, why is this always happening to me? And, well, what are you choosing to do about it? Or are you going to take the knowledge that you learned and are you going to put it into action? Or are you going to sit there and, or is this what you're going to do? Hey, I blew another tire. I need you to come fix this for me. You know, but it's the choices that we make. It's how it is, though. It's the choices that we make. You know, it's the things that come into existence. It's not for no reason. It's because, especially when something resonates with you, it's supposed to resonate with you, and it's for a reason. It's because it's a tool, it's a piece for a puzzle, it's a something, but we don't know what it is. So, but a lot of times, you know, it could be a car part, but we slap a label on it and we call it a puzzle piece. Well, that's a mystery. Why, you know? But then we spend all this time trying to make it fit a puzzle that it's not meant to. It's meant for a car, you know. But slapping labels on things, slapping labels. You know, but we always have exactly what we need to get us to the next step. Not to complete the race, to get us to the next step. That's for somebody.
Run your mouth, go ahead, feel free. I don't hate you, 'cause you can't be me. You ain't cut from my cloth, you ain't forging my fire, you ain't carrying my weight or crawl through my wire. Keep trying to measure up, keep trying to compete, but some thrones built high ain't for you to see. I'm built from stones you ain't survived. Walk through hell and made it out alive. Say what you want, but you ain't like me. You ain't got the backbone or the pedigree. Run your mouth, go ahead, feel free. I don't hate you, 'cause you can't be me.
I arrived to blue skies and green rivers. Travel the globe, amazed how every scene differs. My scenes on K2, I dream bigger. To Mother Earth, I bow like when a queen enters. Life's so beautiful, it's musical, I sing along. But its inhabitants so quickly say I'm singing wrong. But let's rehearse, I'll sing the hook, you take the verse. Let's build a bridge, if you ain't feeling it, then let's reverse. We'll make it work over time, with open mind. Hope is dying, let's fix the broken so broken shine. I wanna help secure fortress, pass torches. Be boisterous about more than fast portions. And stay in perched on porches, taking self-portrait after self-portrait. And treat it like horseshit. Got all the beauty in this world and you ignore it. But you don't see the trees or the forest, you forfeit. We came from beyond the sun. 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 I arrived at the third rock from the star that you call the sun, and was greeted by the son of man standing with the gun in hand. I come in peace, but I cracked up and laughed so hard I almost fell to pieces. You seem to have a thesis that keep it onward and upward and evolving, just as sure as your axis is revolving, as evidenced by your new technology. I think you owe your ancestors an apology. You've come so far, only to forget so much more than you know now. And I know how. You've been hitting reset on your history, dividing and conquering yourself in the mystery. It's no wonder why there's so much misery and suffering, even as the gem of your system, the pretty little sapphire, refracting blue light, digesting sunlight, sustaining true life. Used to be my favorite little tourist spot. I love the pyramids. Now you wonder if I built them? A galactic pilgrim, soaking in the atmosphere. Nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here.
Yeah, it's interesting. a nice place, but I wouldn't want to live here. You know, a nice place just to visit real quick. It's like, yeah, let me go down and see Earth. Oh shit, let me get the fuck out of here. Why? People spying on other people, and for what? Not seeking for ways to help them, seeking ways to help themselves, seeking for ways just to take what is not theirs. You know, but the non-disclosure agreements, it's the energetic contracts signed. You know, but it's you know, but people don't even realize that the actual damage that they're doing to themselves. It's if only they knew. If only they knew. But would they do better? Who knows? I would like to think so, but odds are probably not. You know, they're still going to think that they can manipulate this system. They still think that in some way everything's going to work out for them. It's, you know, it's hard. It's hard for me because it's like some people are just so deep in their fuckery, and they're just so comfortable with it. They see nothing wrong with it, and it's like I see something. It's like I'm trying to find something right with what you're doing. I don't see anything right. It's like all I see is well, that's interesting too. But when I'm judging it through that, it's what would I do? And I look at some people and I would not do a single motherfucking thing that you do. Not one. Don't speak the words, don't do the actions, don't go to places. I'm nothing like you. That's interesting too, but it's the people we grow up with that we're nothing like. The people we grow up with you know, we can't always relate to. And you know what's interesting too is sometimes, you know, it's out of respect that we put distance between us. You know, if we're, you know, someone that lives, you know, the street life, they're not going to go and break down what happens on the streets, you know, in church and tell the church people, you know what I mean? One, they're going to be mortified. They're not going to understand. You know what I mean? It's how but it's like, what common ground do you find? Well, what common grounds have I found in, you know, in Christian schools and Christian churches? What common grounds have I found there with that in the streets? Well, adultery, theft, lies, deceiving. Well, there's some similarities everywhere, actually, and I've seen it with my own eyes. You know, but it's the way that we sometimes, interesting, but it's, you know, it's interesting. I've been single most of my life, right? Sometimes, well, I don't know. Toxicity can be fun. You know, a lot of us know that. Toxicity can be fun. But it's toxic. You know what I mean? And it's not healthy, right? But I've also come across some, you know, really good women that did care about me, but it's, you know, I'm not always the best person. You know, it's but not so much because I would treat them bad, but it's what, you know, it's the life I used to live though. It's the people I would surround myself with, and it's like I didn't want to corrupt them. That's what I felt I would be doing, is corrupting them. And it's like, you know, but it's interesting, but then you don't open up, you don't share things, but it's like I can't share these things with you. You know what I mean? So then there's a natural distance between. And then, but the natural distance, even if put in a place to protection, it's still, the distance is a distance, and it's felt. And it's, I don't know. That's just how I handled things. You know, I guess it was easier for me just to ghost some females and just ghost them and have them, you know, naturally turn to hate me than for me to break their heart, really. And well, because I knew some of them, if I would try to break it down to them and explain to them, it's you're too goody-goody for me. It's they would try to show their bad side, and it's like I didn't want that. You know what I mean? It's like, because then it's going to change who you are, and I don't want to be the person responsible for that. I didn't want that responsibility, because I would have felt responsible if I had sent you down a path. And I don't know. Well, the responsibility, you know, it's the guilt that I thought I was, you know, my ride or die brother, the one that lost his battle to drugs, you know. I thought I was doing the good thing as a big brother, you know, because I had the connects, I had the purest stuff and the cheapest prices. I thought I was doing the right thing as a brother by educating him. You know, it's not everyone can slay their demons. You know, that's a battle he fought many battles, but it's he had a lot of battles that he couldn't fight. You know, but sheltering people. That's interesting too, though. I was saying sometimes we shelter people out of love, but what I'm seeing right here is it's sheltering people, so it's dictating movements, it's controlling. It's not coming out of a place of love. It's coming out of a place of deceit, so they can take what's yours. You know, but people can only take what you allow them to. And it's, you know, if you're hopefully you don't define who you are by physical possessions. Hopefully that doesn't define who you are. I hope that's not how you look at yourself. Like, I am who I am because of what I have, not because of who I am. You are who you are because who you are, not because of what you have. What you have doesn't make who you are. But not even that, too. It's like, imagine that. Imagine thinking it's what you have that makes who you are. And then what do you have? You got it from stealing, from lying, from deceiving. Oh, look at you. You're doing such a great job, Buttercup. Keep it up. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But like my brother that passed away, he was really good with his words, but what did he use it for? What did he use his gifts for? To swindle people out of their hard money, to get them into contracts that he knowingly knows that good luck getting out of it, you're not, and that's how I make my money, is by keeping you stuck in contracts that you can't get out of. That's how my brother chose to make money. And so I would not give him any accolades. I would not give him any praise for doing a great job in scamming and deceiving people. I never gave him that. Never. I don't respect that. How can you knowingly know what you're doing and still continue to do that to people? And then the way that he just made money off of keeping other people stuck in contracts they couldn't get off of. And then he would take their hard-earned money and he would just go and squander it. Just squander it. It goes as fast as it came in. Well, not even just his money. He would spend everyone else's money too. If you're around him, you know, no one's pockets were safe. Surprise visit, you know, anytime, you know, you had to hide your money. You had to hide anything valuable. You know, but it's not even that. It was food too. My brother John was just gluttonous. You know, we had a big family, 7 kids. You know, and so it costs a lot of money to feed us all, right? But it's my type of brother that he would come and he'd see the steak set out for everyone, and so we're supposed to cut it up and split it, right? The motherfucker will go and take a whole thing himself and try to go up for seconds too. It was gluttonous. And it's all, the world all revolved around him. And if you had a problem with it, then it's a problem, because the world revolves around John. But he was a bully. You know, he bullied my brother Ben all the time. And my brother John ran his fucking mouth all the time. Got his ass beat all the time. He could take a beating. I'll give him that. He could take a beating. You know, but guess what else happened? He ran his mouth to all these people. And people that couldn't find him, guess who caught the beatings? My brother Ben. My brother Ben got stabbed because of my brother John's shit. My brother Ben got into a lot of shit storms because of my brother John. You know, but it's our actions, you know. It's funny. It's, you know, the repercussions that my brother got. You know, they wouldn't dare come after me. They knew better to come after me. You know what's fucked up too is some people knew that I didn't even find out what happened to my brother until a couple of years ago. I didn't even find that out. You know why? Because people were afraid to even tell me. They were afraid what I would do. But you know what? It's not even what I would do. All it takes is me expressing my anger my pain to some of the people, and I had people in the streets. I don't need to do certain things myself. I wouldn't even ask people to do things, and it just gets taken care of. And so people withheld that information from me. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I heard it, I know exactly who the motherfucker was. I've seen the motherfucker plenty of times. And had I known who was sitting right for me, had I had known, he's lucky I didn't know. He's lucky by the time I found out. You know, but it's funny. It's the love I have for a brother that I don't even speak to. I was his protector growing up, though, and so yeah, it hurts that we don't even talk. But it's I should have discommunicated. I should have ripped that Band-Aid off and healed from that a long time ago. But I left that wound open, and you know. But it's, you know. But the NDAs, it's my brother John writing checks he couldn't cash, and then who had to pay it? Who had to pay the price? And someone that was innocent. You know, my brother Ben had endless concussions. Endless. He's had I don't know how many, but they tried to take away his right to make his own decisions. They tried to take that, the state tried to take that away from him because he's had so many concussions. They tried to say that he's not able to make his own logical decisions and choices for his well-being. Some of it, he got into some car accidents, but he also got a bunch of beatings. Some from my parents, some from my brother, some from my, you know, people my brother had problems with. You know, but it's, you know, that brother, you know, I was the only one he would still talk to. I was the only one. And the last time I saw him at the liquor store. I saw him, made eye contact with me. He turned his back to me. That was the last time I ever reached out to him. That was the last time. I never tried. Nah. For too long, I held remorse for not being there to protect you more. When I left the house, I left because I had to protect myself. And I wasn't there to protect you anymore. And I held remorse for that. I wish I could have been there, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, but that release, you know, the judgment I casted upon myself, that was a very big release for me. You know, but the surprise visit, you know how many times I thought I released it? Quite a few. Quite a few. You know, it's funny. It's sometimes it takes multiple attempts. You know, it's slowly we release part, and then it comes back, and you know we release another part, and we release another part until finally we can just set it free. You know, but it's hard. You know, it's hard. What's harder? You know, releasing contracts you have with people that are still alive, or releasing contracts with people that are no longer here? What's easier? What's harder? Sometimes we have stronger connections with ones that are past. Sometimes we have stronger connections with ones that are here, but yet we can't talk to either one. What's harder? I don't know. Neither one are fun. Neither one are enjoyable. Neither one are pleasant. You know, because you're doing what needs to be done. You know, but the releasing, it's funny. It's like you want more time with both, but one you physically can't, and the other one you know it's not healthy. You know, but is it easy to watch someone suffering that refuses to help themselves? Is that better to sit there and watch someone? You know, that's painful every day. Watching them hurt themselves every day from their choices and their decisions. You know, that's painful. You know, but wanting better for people that don't want better for themselves, that doesn't get you anywhere. You know, what's interesting too is, you know, I've been referencing it a lot recently was, you know, when I was getting over opiates, you know, I had to hold the belief for myself that people can change, that people can, if they wanted to, that people could. Because what hope could I have for myself if I didn't believe that others could? And, you know, ironically enough, it just popped up on my Facebook time hop a couple days ago. You know, but it's those battles, it's those demons that I slayed. You know, I lost track of time. You know, because I don't dwell on the past. I'm very grateful. I beat that, because I know many people that didn't. You know, but that was the thing too. It's, you know, my brother John, yeah, he went to rehab multiple times, but he never actually wanted it. He was forced to. And so he always went back to the same group of friends, went back to the same shit, until he didn't. Until he moved to Texas to finally get away. Then what happened? He finally moved away to get away from everyone. I was proud of him, but I still wasn't talking to him, because the last time he overdosed in front of my son and my little sister. It's like that was the last straw. That was the last I spoke to him. He tried to talk to me. I gave him my back. He talked to my back. He tried to, you know, that my dad tried to hand the phone to me. I turned to, I think I did say hi to him, but that was it. It was short, simple, sweet. Then that was the last time I spoke to him. He relapsed. One dance with the devil might be your last. One dance with the devil could be all it takes. And the devil comes in many different forms. It's not just drugs, it's not just alcohol. It's lots of things.
I don't break under pressure, I don't crack when it's heated. If respect ain't mutual, then your access deleted. Let's believe that. Been beat down, but I don't stay low. Got mud on my jeans, still ready to go. Every scar's a story that I survived. I've been through hell, but I'm still alive. They said slow down, boy, don't go too fast. But I ain't never been one to live in the past.
Not being one to live in the past. They're triggered that you're not bound by the past. They're triggered that you're not bound to the past. You know, which is a gift, detachment. But detaching from labels. A gift is the ability to reevaluate and to reassess and then to remove labels. So a lot of times the labels are stuck on there. They've been on there for a long time. You're trying some goo off, the goo off doesn't work, you get a razor blade, you gotta scrape it off. It's a lot of work to get some of those labels off. They've been on there for a long time. They're like embedded into it. But guess what? Sometimes we can get it off. Sometimes we get it off most of the way, but guess what? We can still cover it with the new label. Covering it with the new label. It's your ability to take, you know, what's meant to destroy you, and you find the lesson in it. And when you find the lesson, you take all the energy away from the negative and you feed it directly into the positive. It's your ability to do that. It's siphoning the negative dry. It's draining that motherfucker dry and giving it all to the positive, which is the lesson learned. Which is not fun, which was not easy, but it was a lesson nonetheless. And for that, you give thanks. But it's the ability to give thanks even for the storms, because it's the understanding of the purpose. The understanding of your purpose. They understand your purpose, and they're jealous of that. Jealousy is a motherfucker. Oh, that wasn't it. That was the one above it. I'm jealous of how respected you are. That's for somebody. And it's 10:43 on the clock. The 0 cancels out, so that's 143. So I'm going to end this right here. I got some shit I got to do. But I'm going to end this and on the I love you note. Love you guys. Thanks for tapping in. Thanks for the likes, the shares, the comments. Thanks for the exchange of energy. And keep kicking ass.